The LG C series is getting its biggest upgrade in years, but there's a catch. This is the 77-inch LG C6, and the 77-inch and the 83-inch model of the C6 series will be getting the 4-stack primary RGB tandem 2.0 OLED panel from LG Display, which means that you will be getting higher brightness than other smaller screen sizes of 42, 48, 55 and 65 inches in terms of the C6 series. Now, that's not the only upgrade. Upgrade number 2 on the C6 is that across all screen sizes, they will be getting the top tier, most advanced Alpha 11 4K AI processor Gen 3, which is the same SoC that is implemented on the flagship G6 series. Now, if you know the history of LG's flagship OLED SoC, you will know that they do a 2-yearly cycle. So there was the O22, there was the O24, and this year I believe we should be going on to the O26. And I've been informed that they will be using improved processing. Basically, their color processing video pipeline will be upgraded from 10-bit to 12-bit. So hopefully this will help with smoother gradation in terms of native 10-bit gradation in HDR content. But clearly, LG needs to do something to differentiate the 77-inch and 83-inch C6 from the G6. And before I forget, the 77-inch and the 83-inch C6 is called the C6H to differentiate it because it features the hyper radiant color technology, which I shall explain in a while. But let's come around here to the G6. This is the flagship series, and the most important thing to realize is that LG has coined the term hyper radiant color technology to describe a combination of attributes that makes it so good. Attribute number 1 is in terms of its brightness. It has the brightness booster ultra technology. Now, last year it was brightness booster ultimate. This year it was brightness booster ultra. So maybe next year it will be brightness booster pro max. But what it means is that it will be 3.9 times brighter than the entry-level B6 series on a 3% window. Now, we don't know how bright the B6 is, and we don't know what picture preset is used to make these internal measurements. But from what we've been told, the G6 should be 20% brighter than the G5, which is just right beside it. Besides the brightness, another improvement on the G6 is the anti-reflective coating. LG is promoting this certification from Intertek called Reflection Free Premium, where it is able to maintain perfect blacks and perfect color under 500 lux of ambient lighting. Now, why 500 lux? Because there have been some studies to say that, under this condition, if you have a black level of less than 0.24 nits, then blacks will still look very black. Like all things in life, these are all relative. So a black that look gray in a dimly lit room, once you turn on the lights, it may actually look black. It's just like me. If I stand beside Henry Cavill, I will look but ugly. I mean, if I'm not already but ugly in the first place. Anyway, but coming back to the G6, hyper radiant color technology, another important elements are the top tier Alpha 11 Gen 3 processor as well as the 4-stack W OLED panel. And it will come in 6 screen sizes, 48, 55, 65, 77, 83, as well as a large 97-inch version. But as usual, the hyper radiant color technology is only available on the 55, 65, 77 and 83-inch models because those are the only sizes that are available with the 4-stack tandem OLED panel from LG Display. So the 97-inch and the 48-inch G6 won't be as bright as the other screen sizes. Oh, I also need to mention another upgrade on the C6 before I forget, is that you will get a 4K 165Hz HDR VRR capability for gaming. Last year, the C5, if you remember, it was only 144Hz, whereas the G6 and the C6 will both get 165Hz. And besides these two series, obviously there's a B6 which is not on show here, but I think the statement piece in LG's 2026 CES lineup would be this Wallpaper TV, which is extremely thin, extremely beautiful. LG launched the Wallpaper TV back in 2017. It was called W7, and that cost like £30,000. They have brought it back and brought the price down with their top panel technology as well. And I want to actually focus on just how thin it is. You can see here that if I place my finger here, and again, if I have to say a finger is not a true representation of other body parts, you can see that it is actually fairly thin. It's even thinner than my finger. It is actually 9.9 millimeters, which is less than 1 centimeter. So you can actually mount it really nicely flush against your wall. And previous wallpaper TV from LG came with a really big soundbar, which many people didn't like. So LG has removed that, and they are going with this wireless zero connect box here. And you can see that they have actually shrunk the size down compared to the zero connect box that was bundled with the M series last year. So you can actually just fit it inside this really nicely made little custom cabinet here, and it is capable of 4K 144Hz wireless technology, and it features the top tier hyper radiant color technology, which means that it has 4-stack OLED panel. It has the reflection-free premium technology for lower reflectance while maintaining inky blacks and also color consistency in the presence of ambient light. And it comes in 77-inch and also 83-inch sizes. It will have the most advanced Alpha 11 Gen 3 processor as well. So this is truly a statement piece. And remember I said that the W7 cost around $30,000 maybe 9 years ago. This is not going to be that expensive. We've been informed that the W6 will only be slightly more expensive than the G6 of the same screen size. If you are undecided about which LG OLED TV to buy, one place where you can get good advice is at Richer Sounds, a trusted British AV retailer with more than 50 stores in the UK, who provides 6 years warranty on the vast majority of TVs you purchase if you join the company's VIP club. You'll get the best deals through cheaper VIP exclusive in-store only prices, complimentary gifts or freebies. So go visit your local Richer Sounds store or call telesales for your next TV purchase. Thanks again for your support. Now, before I wrap up this video, I need to mention that the G6, W6 and also the C6 will have HDMI 2.1 ports. It won't have HDMI 2.2 because there are no video sources with HDMI 2.2 yet. There's still no DTS decoding because practically LG decided that streaming is the dominant format and Dolby Atmos is the dominant format on streaming platforms. And also, it won't support Dolby Vision 2. LG is still monitoring the situation and they are seeing whether there's any take-up among filmmakers in terms of grading for Dolby Vision 2 before they decide to actually implement it on their TVs. Now, besides launching these new 2026 OLED TVs at CES, LG has also announced another display technology called micro RGB at the other side of the suite. To find out more about LG's micro RGB Evo televisions, please watch my coverage video by clicking here.